Good morning.
Good morning, Cosmic Mama.
Terri, we never know what's going to hit the screen. I'm telling you, I never know. Even if you plan it, sometimes you can't plan it. But
we go with the flow.
That's right. I got my call me now. I got my Miss Cleo on, like the man at the store said. And it's just, I think it's a running theme for now. Like, we just don't know what's coming next. And I just even had some cards the other day, and it just said something new. Don't know what, just something new, something great, something exciting is going to happen. But I feel like I have no choice but to live my life as if anyway. I was working on the introduction to the self-parenting book, and that was the thought that I had last night about changing the future, being able to change the future. You have to be open. Your antenna has to be open to receive new things. If we're so deeply programmed that we're always expecting the same thing to happen and we need to know what happened, it doesn't leave any room for miracles, and it doesn't really leave room for change. And because we have such a limited view of ourselves, we have such a limited view of the grandeur that the Creator has, that if we want to do it through our eyes, we would only be limiting ourselves by our own perspective. You know what I'm saying?
And the problem, I shouldn't say maybe problem in quotations, is that we create our future based on the past. And if we can let go of the past and just be, how do I create things from now? Then you don't have that propelling from the back, where it shoots you in a trajectory based on where you've come from, right? If you are living in this moment now, then our trajectory is 360 degrees. If we're trying to look at things from the past, it's going to just send us on, it can propel us just on the trajectory that we've always been on. So, and I think what's happening based on all of the stuff that we hear, but if the matrix is starting to disintegrate from the way that it has, then perhaps what's happening is what we create is not going to be based on the past. So that's why when you get something new is happening, what is it? What's the new thing that's going to happen? Because we don't know. But I think we're all feeling that.
This took me on one of your favorite subjects since you said that, because what I was thinking is, if we are projecting everything from the past and our expectations are built on the past, then somehow we're living in a loop. Is that what makes a person a non-player character? I usually say they're living on a loop, right? They're doing the same activities, but expecting change, but not getting it. And you can see some people around you in the past that, why does this always happen to me? It's like, because you did A, B, and C. If you keep doing the same thing, you're going to keep getting the same result. But that's just a question. I don't think that these are maybe even a question that I don't even want to try to suppose that I know the answer to. And I think that's a pattern some people need to break too, because we're all functioning on such a low level of understanding. Even if you are connecting outside yourself, the information that you receive from your guides, even some of that can be used, some of it can be your ego, but is it really the greatest perspective from source, or is it still from a limited perspective? I know that we're functioning on many levels now, and we have to just be open for surprise. I think that's why a lot of people can truly give over their power with books, and certain books or certain readings or certain situations where they want to watch a show and have the answer. I really think a lot of people think that they're going to watch a program sometimes and get the answers to everything, and then the notebook will be full, and there just is no completion to this until there's a day where and where you're probably here. You probably won't be on this plane. If you got all the answers, you probably won't be here.
No, you're going to move to another plane where you have a whole different set of questions, and nothing.
Questions with new answers. I think that's the interesting thing about it. Certainly anything good coming my way soon. That Mina said that. But what we normally do, Mina, we do a collective reading, and we will pull a card just for you. But for our regulars, we'll do that inside the Women of the Stars group chat, because we get real personal sometimes, and we really connect sometimes in our Women of the Stars group chat. But we'll definitely pull a card for you. And if you want to ever check us out, then come join us, and we can get personal with you too. But for now, we're going to do a collective reading. And Terri, I don't know if you pulled the cards already.
I didn't. I pulled one card because I wasn't sure what, but it's really interesting. I pulled a card from the Divine Abundance, and the card that came up was expansiveness. And it says, eternity is far more creative than the rigid, constrained, and exhausted ego. So that was the first card I pulled when I pulled my cards out, and it's like, wow, that's true. And I think for us right now, for what we're going through on this earth, it is about expansiveness. And the whole idea of living within the belief systems that we have, they're starting to crumble because, we've been, quote, comfortable and believing everything that we've been told, but now we're seeing the foundation starting to fall and everything starting to come apart. But it's realizing that, this is expanding. The creative source is always expanding. What have you got that jumped out?
Happy Easter, Ramadan. Who's watching all the way from Finland? Oh my goodness. Okay, so possibly Mina, I don't know if maybe you're having a situation, because it says karma, resolve, natural born leader, self-sabotage. So you may be involved in a situation that requires fairness. Oh, well, show very well. Okay. Well, the pictures are abstract anyway. So you may be involved in a situation that requires justice or fairness. This is a period of indecision and inner conflict, and it's time to make a decision. So it's time to resolve. You're a natural born leader. You were born to lead others. It is part of your path, your life path. And self-sabotage, you may be creating pain for yourself by standing in your own way. So let me know. It was just like one after the other. It was like, dang, karma, resolve. Natural born leader, self-sabotage. So it's like you have it in you. You have the answer to the problem because you need some justice, and you have the answer to the problem, but you need to make a decision. And then you're able to move forward and be strong and help many people and do things. But it seems like even that indecisiveness gets in your way, and you're self-sabotaging, causing your own pain. So there might be some things that you need to remove, and you just need to do it and stop thinking about it and worrying about it and just get it done. So let me know if that resonates with you at all. So we stuck that one in there. Hey, Mr. Ramadan, how you doing over there in Finland? Is it still cold? Is it still cold over there like it is in Canada?
Oh, it's not so cold now. It's going to be, by the end of the week, we'll be into double digit.
Ooh, double digits.
Well, we start at zero. Zero is the same as 32. So I think it's supposed to be like close to 65 by the end of the week.
Let me see what my weather is so I can brag real quick.
I know you always got it perfect over there.
So over here it's like 82.
All right. It's about 40 here.
Oh my gosh, New York is 48, and so for it says Winnipeg is 38 in comparison. Yeah. Okay. So for all the Celsius people, my house is 28. New York is 9. Winnipeg is 4.
Yeah.
Good night.
And how about Toronto for our friend Jack?
Okay, Toronto. Let's see. Girl, you in the big city, Toronto.
Well, she's outside that, but
6 with a drizzle.
Oh.
You're welcome. Happy Ramadan over there. Are you I know you anyway, I'm not gonna call your business out. I was gonna say, are you fasting? Are you giving up something? Oh, she said rub it in. So Jack said rub it in. I'm gonna do I'll pull 3 cards for the collective too for myself. Okay. This is the intuitive life coach, which is always fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm rubbing it in. I'm rubbing it in. Because I think you should all just move here. Like, I don't understand why people live in Wisconsin. I don't understand it. When they know that Florida exists, and you can say hurricanes, but I stayed right in my house the last time.
So are you ready to pull? Or because I have a couple more cards there that I had.
Go ahead, Terri. This could be like
So
the
the first
dueling
card
doula.
that I had was the expansiveness. Eternity is far more creative than the rigid, constrained, and exhausted ego. The next one is individuality. And that one is every person has their own personalized study plan in this earth school. And the third card I pulled was sanctity. Through offering, even the most mundane problem can become a sacrament. So I'm going to just say that the times that are coming, people are going to find that what they held dear, what they believed, was not necessarily on solid ground. And so it's going to be an opportunity for us to have that individual growth and that individual creation. So, like when we that sanctity is being able to just offer ourselves to that creative source and discover who we are as individuals. But
I'm just mind blown because I didn't even look at these. Now, what were your cards again? Say it again.
expansiveness,
Uh-huh.
individuality, and sanctity.
Wow. So this one was for the group self-sabotage. You may be creating pain for yourself and standing in your own way. The second one is the void. You may be covering up the emptiness or pain within through an addiction. An addiction, it doesn't necessarily mean it is drugs or alcohol either. Because me and Terri talked about another addiction that we have for pulling everything out and looking for something in a panic, knowing damn well that you got something specific you need to do. Which 3 days later now, for me, I just found that box of sage I was looking for. But actually, like, I will spend my time looking for things that I know, like, I don't know if I subconsciously do know where they are, but I'm looking for them to avoid sitting down and doing a task. And so we have these ways of avoiding of we have a way of avoiding by keeping ourselves busy doing other things. It could be, what is the addiction? It could be eating, it could be drinking, it could be smoking, it could be obsessing, it could be worrying. We get into our OCD mode, our obsessive compulsive mode. And so we're covering up something by doing that.
Mm-hmm.
We're not dealing with what's at hand. And it says a new door. My prayers have been answered. A new door is being held open for you. So if we can, one thing that I was working on in the chapter last night was self-awareness is one of the key steps in working on any of this stuff. Why am I angry? Why am I nervous? Why am I overwhelmed? Why am I uncomfortable? Why is my neck hurting? Why are my shoulders hurting? Why are my hips hurting? What is it that I'm not dealing with in my life? But now, if I can become self-aware, do some breath work, figure out some of the things that you could do, some self-care awareness, how to deal with this problem directly. Now there's a new door being held open for you. If you can address this now, there's a new door being held open for you. And I kind of have a feeling that that goes along with Mina as well, and for myself as well, because this is for the collective, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah. I think we have, there's the opportunity to expand, right? And we have, um, we like to be in a comfortable place where we know what's happening. But when we're in that place of comfort, we're not growing and we're not expanding, and we're not meant to be here just to, uh, we're meant to explore, and we're meant to expand, and we're meant to grow. And sometimes that growth is uncomfortable. Think about a kid who's wearing a size 3 shoe and their foot is a size 6. They've grown and that shoe is uncomfortable, so they have to discard it and go barefoot for a while or get bigger shoes. But that's the way that we are, right? We are expanding, and so we have to acknowledge that. And that means that we may have to get rid of some of the things that maybe it worked for us for the last 30 years and it's not working now. It means time to expand and grow, right? And get a step away from our ego. Just because it's always been this way doesn't mean that it's going to stay that way.
it made me think of, what is this? A rolling stone gathers no moss.
Mm-hmm.
Create or dissipate.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so funny because me and Terri talk about my neighbor's house. Because if you leave anything still long enough, Mother Gaia will cover it over. So if you leave a city that's, you're not driving through it, if people aren't cutting the grass, if people aren't maintaining the property, the actual weeds and the natural landscape will grow right over top of it, and it'll go right through it, right? And so it's time for you to move a little. Time for you to shake a little. It's time for you to shake things up. And you'll notice too, you'll project your voice and speak your truth. And people, you won't have to necessarily argue with people. Once people begin to hear your voice, it either resonates or it doesn't. And you will cut the path, cut a new path by speaking your truth. So, yes, we are growing. Yeah, Mina. I'm so glad you're here with us. You're really active in the comments. I appreciate that. Thank you. So, it's time to move a little bit. It's time to shake a little bit. It's time to go back outside. And it's time to enjoy your life. And things are going to pop up because things slow down and people slow down, the annoyances maybe slowed down, or the interruptions may have slowed down, but it's springtime. It's going to pop back up. What are you doing to create this life for you? Because you had some time indoors to focus on your self-care, but don't let it slip. Now just take it further, because now we can travel more. Now we can move more. Now we can really go for it in an even bigger way now. Like, we're gonna go meet our loved ones over at the Journey to the Truth, and everybody's like, "Hey, are you gonna be there? Are you gonna be there?" The Truth Con out there in Illinois, and so that's gonna be great and fabulous. And call it in some new friendships for yourself, that people that actually do resonate with you and that have similar interests. And I'm gonna say, don't be so disappointed if people don't believe everything that you believe. I think we need to be less critical of ourselves and less critical of others, and allowing ourselves to just be that beautiful, imperfect self that we are. And yeah, and some people maybe, you might see yourself in a situation where you're trying to make something work and it really just doesn't work for you. And it's good for you to be honest with yourself. So that's basically the message that we have today. And we're going to the Women in Stars and do our individuals.
Yes, and we've got a couple of interviews coming up at the end of the week, right?
Oh my goodness. Thank you for saying that. I think tomorrow is Mary Wilson.
No, is that Thursday?
Thursday, Mary Wilson.
Thursday was with Mary at what time? 1 p.m. Eastern. And Friday, we've got Chris Sinatra at 1 p.m.
Those are your times.
Oh, yeah, 2 p.m. Sorry, 2 p.m. Eastern.
For me, I thought it was 3 p.m. Thursday. We got to get our stuff together, y'all. We have to have a meeting.
Hey. Okay. Oh, yeah, maybe it is. Okay, maybe it is 3 p.m.
3 p.m. Eastern.
Because we're always an hour difference, I try and put it. I try and put both times down.
Terry was doing the new math.
Yeah.
So 3 p.m. on Thursday, Mary Wilson, the shaman. That's your friend.
Yes.
Did you want to tell us more about it?
Mary is going to talk about the stars and how our origins in the stars based on a lot of the First Nations teachings. So she's been receiving a lot of information from the star beings, and she wants to share that with us. So that will be really very cool to see what the shamans have to say.
Definitely. And then what day? Because Terry tells me what to do, y'all. No, Friday. She did this whole thing. So Friday at 2 p.m. it must be Chris Sinatra, 2 p.m. Eastern.
Yes.
And we'll be discussing the internal universe, and then we'll also be discussing something about the eclipse that's coming up. And he's always got a perspective of something that I've never heard before. I love talking to Chris Sinatra, and he's really a professional when it comes to the Mandela effects. So he's the quantum businessman.
Yes.
And I am always looking forward to what he has to say, because it's when he told me those teeth were time crystals, I was like this would explain a lot, So he always has something that is phenomenal. So you don't magical. You don't want to miss Chris Sinatra. I love talking to him, and I'm sure. I mean, I could probably keep him on here for 5 hours, probably talking. It would be, but I know he's busy. Thank goodness he's busy. He's like, look, woman, I got 1 hour. So we're going to talk powerful talk. Hey, Carrie.
Hey,
Nina,
Carrie.
Nikki.
Jax.
It's been great, you all. We'll see you in the room.
Mm-hmm.